Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Renegades and BattleHawks here to start Week 6, start the second half of the 2025 UFL season. Welcome to the stream, everybody. The game is set to kick off in a couple of seconds. Let me get the scoreboard correct. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Should be a good one here today. Big game for the XFL playoff race as well. Alright, 1 second. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Alright, there we go. Alright, Renegades and BattleHawks about to kick off. It is going to be the Renegades getting the ball first. And let me pull up the comments as well. So the kick is away. It is going to be fielded from about the 3-yard line on the return. For the Renegades, there is Callum Balaz to the 33. And that is where the Renegades will take over to start this game. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Should be a great game here in the UFL this week, or in this game. A lot of good games this week. But welcome to the stream. Let me put out a poll. Alright, there's the poll. First play here for the Renegades is a handoff up the middle to Day Hunter for about 3. But these teams met a couple weeks ago in that one in Arlington. Renegades won that one, I believe, 30-15. But I think this game is going to be a lot closer than that one was. Second and 7. From the 35, Perez and shotgun, Hunter to his right. Perez to throw for the first time, gets pressure, throws to the outside, completes it to Sal Canella. And Canella very close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be just short. And it's going to be 3rd and short here for the Renegades very early in this game. So yeah, it's 3rd and 1 here for the Renegades. 14 minutes to go. We're a minute in. From their own 40, they got him to jump. Perez goes with the hard count. The BattleHawks jump off sides. And it gives the Renegades a free first down. We go offsides against the against the BattleHawks. Gives the Renegades 5 yards. And a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 46 after the penalty. Perez and shotgun back to his right. Perez throws quickly to the outside that is caught by Deontay Burnett for a gain of 9. Burnett had a nice game last week and a big touchdown catch. 9-yard pickup there on first down. That's a really nice throw from Perez to the outside as well. 2nd and short from the BattleHawk 45. Perez hands off Day Hunter up the middle, and he's going to run into a wall. Peter Tamanapenu there to meet him at the line to gain. It's going to be about a half a yard short. But Tamanapenu actually questionable to play this week, but obviously he is playing. And that is definitely good news for the BattleHawks. One of the best edge rushers in the UFL. We 5th in sacks with 3.5. So another 3rd and short here for the Renegades. Perez is going to come under center. Kalen Balaj is the back. 3rd and 1. And Perez, they're going to go with the sneak, and Perez has a first down. So Perez moves the sticks on the quarterback sneak, and the Renegades convert on 3rd down. So 1st and 10 from the 43. Perez off play action, looks to throw, has time, dumped this off in the flat to one of his tight ends, and gain of 8. There's a flag down. Seth Green, number 87, made the catch, flag down on the opposite side of the field. Got an illegal shift against the Renegades that'll back him up 5 and wipe off a solid first down play. So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Perez in the pistol, Balaj behind him. Perez hands off, Balaj up the middle, breaking free. Kalen Balaj breaking tackles. Gain of 11 and almost a first down because of the penalty, but a nice first down run there for Balaj. Gain 11, make it 2nd and 4. Balaj with a nice run in his first carry of the day. I believe he actually leads the UFL in rushing yards, although I'm not positive on that. But I think so. So 2nd and 4. Perez in the pistol, again Balaj behind him. He'll hand off Balaj again, this time not as much. He's going to fight through contact, gain about 2, maybe 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. Yeah, Balaj does lead the league in rushing yards. 276 yards coming into today's game. 3rd and short, Renegades go with the T formation. And we got a new quarterback, Holton Ellers comes under center. We're going to hand this off to Day Hunter, and he's going to have a first down. Hunter gains 2 on the run to the right side, and the Renegades move the sticks on 3rd and short. That is now 3 3rd and 1s they've converted on this opening drive. So far, an 8-play, 36-yard drive that has taken 5:09 off the clock for the Renegades. Perez back into the game at quarterback. I'm not sure why they do that. It seems like maybe Holton Ellers is more comfortable under center than Perez, but I'm not really sure why they would make a switch like that. They'll just get the snap off here. Flag comes down, and Perez throws just the flat for Green, and he's taken down right there. So let's see what the flag is. Thought it might have been a delay of game because the play clock was at 0, but instead it's not a delay game. It's offsides against the BattleHawks. Travis Feeney, who's had a really nice year so far, lined up in the neutral zone. Renegades 16 points on opening drives this season. That is most in the UFL. We need to get another good opening drive here. Get the ball on the BattleHawk 27. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Perez in the pistol, Balaj behind him. And Balaj gets to carry up the middle, but he goes nowhere, taken down for a loss. And it brings up 2nd and 6. Mike Rose with the tackle for loss there for the BattleHawks. 2nd and 6. Perez in shotgun back to his right. And we got early movement here. Looks like this is going to be against the Renegades. We got a flag, was to play dead. Yeah, false start against the Renegades. Backs him up 5. And they've very quickly gone from 1st and 5 back up to 2nd and 11. They've definitely struggled with pre-snap penalties so far this season. That is their 13th false start. And now this is their 6th game. So 2nd and 11 after the penalty. They'll empty the backfield for Perez. Perez to throw over the middle, that is caught by Canella, his 2nd catch. And Canella going to get about 7. Bring up 3rd and 4. This has been a really long drive for the Renegades so far. They've taken nearly half the first quarter already. And by the time they run this next play, they will have taken half the first quarter. So Perez in shotgun back to his right. Now Balaj motions out of the backfield. Perez looks to throw. Perez going to take a shot down the sideline. That is caught for a touchdown. He may have stepped out of bounds before he caught it. Lawan Winningham makes the catch. It looks like they're going to rule this a touchdown. I thought he was out of bounds. Let's see. He's definitely out of bounds on the white. But let's see. I think it's because he got pushed out. This touchdown's going to stand. And he was able to establish himself back in bounds. They're going to take a look at it. Let's see. Chris Payton-Jones, who's having a really nice year for the BattleHawks, definitely shoves him out of bounds. And Winningham... Let's see. Depends if he reestablishes himself. Just has to get a foot down in bounds. Alright, so the touchdown's not going to stand. Winningham did not reestablish himself in bounds. It's going to be an illegal touching penalty. And right now, the Renegades had a touchdown. Now they're going to be forced to settle for a 44-yard field goal. By the way, Winningham needed 2 feet to reestablish himself, but he didn't get that. 4th and 4. And prior to the field goal, we got a... Do we have a challenge here for Bob Stoops? Alright, let's see. So the Renegades not challenging, apparently. I don't know, confusing there. That's the one thing. I love the transparency of the UFL, but when I'm trying to watch the games with captions, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what's going on. So it's a 4th and 4 here for the Renegades. Try to get the game's first points after an extremely long opening drive. Their kicker 8 of 9 on the season, a long of 47. This is a 44-yarder centered in the field. And the kick is on the way, no good. Missed it wide left. And a long drive for the Renegades to start this game ends in no points. Between the penalty and now the missed field goal. The game stays scoreless, and the BattleHawks are going to get the ball for their first possession. Talk about a tough couple of plays there for the Renegades. You think you have a touchdown with Winningham, but he doesn't reestablish himself in bounds. And then you go from thinking you have a touchdown to the touchdown getting overturned and now missing a field goal. That's a rough couple plays. So the BattleHawks get the ball for their first possession. Max Duggan is set to make his second start for the BattleHawks. He actually saw a lot of playing time the first game against the Renegades and was not good. But he looked a lot better last week. Only threw 12 passes, but played pretty well. Duggan last week went 9 of 12 for 124 yards and a touchdown. The week before, against the Renegades, he went 8 of 17 for 78 yards and 2 picks. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. Game stays scoreless after a long drive for the Renegades on their first possession. They got 12 plays, 42 yards, take 7:57 off the clock just to miss a field goal. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So far, results in the poll, everyone has said the BattleHawks will win. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. I've got the BattleHawks 27-24. I think this is going to be a really good game. Max Duggan played well last week, just mentioned his stats, also with 70 rushing yards and a couple of scores on the ground. He had a really good game last week. And the BattleHawks with pretty good field position here at their own 34. Duggan looks to throw for the first time, throwing outside. That is caught by Ja'Cour Pearson. He's going to break a tackle, and Pearson going to gain 11. A nice throw and catch there for the BattleHawks. Go to the ground here for the first time. Here is Jacob Sailors bouncing off defenders. And Sailors is going to gain about 3. He's had a really good start to the year. Schooled off a little bit as of late, but still one of the best backs in the UFL. He is a really good player. So Duggan in shotgun. 2nd and 6. Pearson in motion. Duggan looks to throw. Duggan pressured, rolls to his right. Duggan on the run. Duggan throws back across the field. That is broken up. Nearly intercepted off the deflection. Trying to find Blake Jackson downfield. And it's 3rd and 6. Duggan got pressured pretty quick there, but obviously see the athleticism of Max Duggan. That's something he's definitely known for from his time at TCU. We saw that a lot last week. And he makes a pretty solid throw, though it is a little bit of a risky throw in a coverage. But here's a 3rd and 6. And just got the snap off. Duggan looks to throw. Duggan throwing outside. That is knocked down. Incomplete, trying to get it to Pearson. And it's 4th down. Really good coverage out there for the Renegades. I mean, the throw's a little late for Max Duggan, but there's just not much space to fit that ball in. That's very good coverage. So it's 4th and 6. Here for the BattleHawks. And the punt is going to go into the end zone. For a touchback. I don't have a team in the UFL. I'm just a fan of the league. So, obviously, neither of these teams. But I'm hoping one day they'll bring back the New Jersey Generals from the USFL. Because they were my team. But, yeah. How about you? You a fan of either of these teams? You're a BattleHawks fan. Nice. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. 4:35 to go in the first quarter. The Renegades going to get the ball for their second possession. Get the ball on their own 25. The punt went into the end zone for a touchback. Their first drive, a really long drive, but added no points after a missed field goal. So far, results in the poll, everyone said the BattleHawks win. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. If you guys missed my prediction for the game, I got the BattleHawks by a score of 27-24. I think. Let me check. I think that's what I said when I made my predictions video. I might have said 24-21. Alright, I said 24-21. Sorry, BattleHawks 24-21. That's my prediction. So 4:35 to go. In the first quarter, game still scoreless. Renegades with the ball on their own 25. 42 yards in their first drive. Perez in shotgun back to his left. Perez hands off. Day Hunter. Gonna look for space, but not find much. He'll fall forward for about 2. But a nice play there for the BattleHawks defense. So 2nd and 8. Perez in shotgun back to his left. Perez Looks to throw. Has time. Can roll to his right. And he'll throw to the outside. Here for Winstead. And he's taken down for a loss of a yard. Gonna make it 3rd and 9. Very quickly, it's 3rd down here for the Renegades. Actually, they're gonna spot it now 3rd and 10. So 3rd and long. Here for the Renegades. Not exactly where you want to be. The Renegades are 2 of 3 on 3rd downs, although they're like 3rd and 1. Play clock winding down here. Renegades gonna have to burn a timeout. So it's 3rd and 10 for the Renegades. They call the game's first timeout. It's 3rd and 10 from their own 25. 3:26 to go in the opening quarter. The game's still scoreless. Wonder what the attendance might be for tonight's game. Because, obviously, the BattleHawks, they've got great attendance, and the stadium still does look pretty full. Although, the St. Louis Blues have a playoff game at home. So that probably going to take away some people from attending the BattleHawks game. Hold on 1 second. So far, results in the poll, 67% of you guys said the BattleHawks win, 33% have said the Renegades. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. Alright, so it's a 3rd and 10. Here for the Renegades. So 3rd and long, Perez and shotgun back to his right. Perez looks to throw. BattleHawks bring pressure. Perez gonna take a shot down the field that is called for a first down. Isaiah Winstead gains 15. And the Renegades move the sticks on 3rd and long. Perez underthrew that one by a lot. Ended up being a back shoulder throw to Winstead, although I don't think they were trying to get a back shoulder. No, maybe they were. Never mind. But that was a big conversion there for the Renegades. Isaiah Winstead on the year, 21 catches for 215 yards. 1st and 10 from the 41. Here's the handoff. Kalen Balaj up the middle. He's got a good run here. He'll gain 6 on 1st down. So 2nd and 4. Renegades offense, they've done a pretty good job moving the ball so far in this first quarter. 2nd and 4 from their own 47. They'll keep this in the ground. Balaj up the middle. And Kalen Balaj going to get about 3 yards. Bring up another 3rd and short. Renegades, they've been great on 3rd down so far today. What are they? 3 of 4? 4 of 5? They've been great. 3rd and short. Perez comes under center. This could be a quarterback sneak. Nope, instead he'll hand off Balaj straight ahead for a 1st down. Kalen Balaj moves the sticks on 3rd and 1. And the Renegades with another 3rd down conversion. And they got the ball into BattleHawks territory as well. It's the 47. Play selection so far for the Renegades: 11 run plays, 6 pass plays. Perez in the pistol. Balaj is behind him. Play clock winding down. And we got a flag that comes in here. We got a false start against the Renegades. We'll back them up 5. It's the 2nd false start of the day for the Renegades. Both of them have actually gone on their left guard minor. I'm sure the crowd in St. Louis plays a factor as well. 1st and 15 from the 48. Perez, off play action, looks to throw. Perez takes a shot down the sideline that is underthrown and incomplete. And now we got a flag that comes in. I think Perez got his, he threw that, causing it to come up short. But let's see what this flag is. We got defensive pass interference. That penalty is declined. And we've also got roughing the passer. That one's accepted 15 yards from the previous spot. And a 1st down. Oh my, that's the roughing the passer. And Perez got tapped in the helmet. And it's roughing the passer. I mean, obviously it's the rule, but that's one of the rules I really don't like about roughing the passer. Perez off play action. Sets his feet, wanted to go deep. Now Perez going to go down for a sack. Ball came out. Perez lost as he got sacked. The clock is still running. And it's BattleHawks football. BattleHawks recover the fumble. The first turnover of the game comes at the very end of the first quarter. Peter Tamanapenu comes up with it. And a big turnover for the BattleHawks defense. Tamanapenu knocked it out as well as recovered it. And a turnover there by the Renegades. Perez, he was trying to throw it to somebody. Might have been his lineman. I don't think he realized. But it is... Oh, hold on. We got a challenge here from the Renegades. I think they're trying to say Perez got hit in the head. Let's see. They're saying 51 Willie Harvey. Hit Perez in the head. No, there's no way that should be a penalty. Yeah, they're going to deny the challenge. Mike Pereira says there's no penalty. That is clearly the right call. There is no way that should be a penalty. And if it is, there's something seriously wrong. So the play stands. The Renegades now lose their challenge for the rest of the game. I don't really like that challenge at all from Bob Stoops. It seems like he was kind of talked into it by Luis Perez. He was like positive there was some kind of penalty, but there's no way that should be a penalty. They've also put time back on the clock now. 17 seconds left in the first quarter. Duggan in shotgun back to his right. BattleHawks offense back on the field. They'll go to the ground here. Jacob Sellers up the middle. Not much. About a yard for Sellers. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the game is still scoreless. BattleHawks with the football after defense forces a fumble. But a scoreless game so far through one quarter. Renegades with a lot of the ball in that first quarter. 12 and a half minutes of possession in that first quarter. Renegades outgaining the BattleHawks 62-17. The BattleHawks, they ran 5 plays in the first quarter. Mainly because the Renegades were great on third down and the BattleHawks defense couldn't get off the field. In the first quarter, Renegades went 4 of 5 on third down. That could be something to watch as we get deeper into this game. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. Game's still scoreless. Hold on 1 second. Alright, they're back from commercial as we enter the second quarter. So 2nd and 8 here for the BattleHawks. Duggan in shotgun back to his right. Duggan hands off. Sauer's left side. Sauers gets a block. Tries to turn the corner, but he's dragged down from behind by Donald Payne. Sauers will gain 4. And then I'll make it 3rd and 4 here for the BattleHawks. So 3rd and 4 here for the BattleHawks. Duggan looks to throw. Duggan, with time, throws outside. Caught for a first down. Blake Jackson makes the catch to the 41-yard line. And the BattleHawks move the sticks. Nice throw and catch. Duggan to Jackson. I really think Duggan's only going to improve as he gets more playing time. Because, I mean, with Max Duggan, last week he was really good. And, I mean, the week before, that was his first action in years in-game. So it makes sense he wasn't great, but he's looked pretty good to start this game and last week. Duggan takes a shot down the sideline. That is... Oh, did he catch that? Butler, no, he was out of bounds. Butler had a huge game last week with 2 touchdowns on 2 catches and over 100 yards. They take a shot downfield for him here. And he caught it, but he was out of bounds. Yeah, he's out. Was the UFL Offensive Player of the Year last year. And he is a matchup nightmare, standing at 6'5". One of the best receivers in the UFL. 2nd and 10. We'll just get the snap off. Duggan. Pressured very quickly. Duggan running his own lineman. Taken down for a sack. And it's 3rd and 16. Duggan with no time there. Pressured very quickly. And he goes down for a sack. So it's 3rd and 16. Here for the BattleHawks. You're probably just thinking about getting into field goal range here if you can't get all this, which you probably won't. Duggan, pressured. Duggan's going to go down for another sack. Max Duggan sacked on back-to-back plays. Willie Taylor with a sack for the Renegades, and that for sure knocks the Renegades out of field goal range. Or sorry, the BattleHawks out of field goal range. Obviously, they weren't in field goal range now, but before that 3rd down play, but they probably were in field goal range before the 2 sacks. So here's the punt for the BattleHawks, and the punt is away. This one's going to be fielded at the 12, and it'll get taken down at about the 13 or 14. Great kick coverage there by the BattleHawks. And both defenses playing pretty well so far. 11:36 to go in the first half. Game still scoreless. And the Renegades getting the ball back at about their own 12-yard line. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. And after off the BattleHawks, they go 6 plays, ends up being 2 yards when you factor in the sacks at the end. which the second and third down sacks lost a combined 13 yards. So far, the Renegades, they've definitely looked a little bit better offensively. They've moved the ball more effectively, just haven't been able to finish their drives. Missed field goal and a fumble. But the Renegades 63 yards compared to the BattleHawks 17. So still wait for them to come back from commercial. Hold on 1 second. Alright. Now they're back from commercial. .11:36 to go in the first half. Renegades with the ball on their own 14. Perez and shotgun back behind him. And on turnaround handoff, Kalen Balaj up the middle for about a yard. Bring up 2nd and 9 from the 15. So 2nd and 9. Here for the Renegades. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Perez in shotgun. Balaj motions out of the backfield. Perez looks to throw. Perez pressure throws incomplete. And it's 3rd and 9. So 3rd and 9. Here for the Renegades. They have been really good on third down so far today. 4 of 5, I believe. Yeah, Renegades 4 of 5 on third down so far. This is a 3rd and 9 from their own 15. BattleHawks bring 4. Perez checks down Balaj with a one-handed catch. Breaks the tackle. But he's going to get taken down about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Only got 4. So the first 3 and out of the game. And it is BattleHawks defense forcing a quick 3 and out. Punt is away. Marquette King sends it to Peyton back at the... Pearson. Back to 30. Returns to about the 39. There's a flag down at the snap. So let's see what this flag is. We got illegal motion against the Renegades. So it's going to be an extra 5 yards after the play for the BattleHawks. So after the penalty, it's going to be the BattleHawks football on their own 44. After a nice return as well as the penalty. BattleHawk ball on their own 44. Game still scoreless. 9:42 to go in the first half. Both defenses playing pretty well. BattleHawks offense looked a little bit better last drive, although then Max Duggan took sacks on back-to-back plays, and that ended the drive. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So now they're back from commercial. BattleHawks getting football back. So far, possessions tonight, we've seen 3 punts, a missed field goal, and a fumble. So the BattleHawks with the ball, spotted at their own 45-yard line. Duggan under center. And Duggan here's a backwards pass to Blake Jackson. And Jackson looking downfield gets a block. And Jackson is just going to keep it himself, completely reverse the field, and gain about 5. We saw Blake Jackson throw a pass last week. Through a 53-yard touchdown, I believe it was, to Hakeem Butler. But there, he just scrambles for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Duggan on the option here gets a block. Duggan dives ahead after a gain of 7. First down, BattleHawks. Used him a lot as a runner like that last week. His first design run this week. So 3rd and 1. Wait, 3rd and 1? I thought he got a first down. Okay, now we did get a first down. They had to fix that. So it is a first down for the BattleHawks. 8:28 to go in the first half. Duggan in the pistol. Sailors behind him. Duggan in the option, trying to turn the corner, and does. Duggan gets out of bounds after a gain of 6. Another nice run from Max Duggan. Definitely, we know he's really good at that. And we saw him 10 carries, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. And even going back to his time at TCU, where he was a Heisman candidate, or Heisman finalist in 2022. But a very, very good runner. 2nd and 5. Duggan under center. Off play action. Duggan looks to throw all kinds of time. Duggan now starts to scramble. Duggan rolls to his right, directs traffic. He's got a lot of space to run. He'll take advantage of that. Duggan's still going inside the 20. Duggan inside the 10. Duggan taken down inside the 5 at the 2. A big run for Max Duggan. He took a big hit at the end of that play, but it looks to be okay. But he's taken down at the 2-yard line. What a run for Max Duggan. Looks like he wanted to go deep. But ends up with a huge, huge play, keeping it himself. I'm not sure what this was. I think quarterback sneak? Yeah, I'm not sure what that first down play was because they cut to it really late. But 2nd and goal here for the BattleHawks. They're going to have to call a timeout. Max Duggan in his career at TCU as a runner. 28 touchdowns, over 1,500 rushing yards, and ran a 4.5 340 at the NFL Combine. With 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, Duggan with a big run puts the BattleHawks in position to potentially get the game's first points. That was a 37-yard scramble for Max Duggan, who on this drive has 4 carries for 51 yards. Wow, that's crazy. Duggan, he has 20 yards passing, 51 yards rushing. So that's, what, 71 yards of the BattleHawks' 84 yards. Pretty impressive. Yeah, Max Duggan, he's a player I like a lot. I mean, I think he's only going to get better as he plays more. Really good player. Hold on 1 second. Alright, now they're back from commercial. We got 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Still scoreless, although the BattleHawks with the ball on the 1-yard line. Max Duggan, 51 rushing yards on this drive. Duggan in the pistol, Sailors behind him. Duggan turns around, hands off, Sailors hit in the backfield, and he's going to fight through the contact and get back to the line of scrimmage, although no gain, on 2nd and goal. All run plays in this drive so far. 3rd and goal from the 1. Duggan, there's a fade to Butler. Broken up. I thought they might do that. Butler was one-on-one. He's always going to have a size advantage against the corner, with Butler being 6'5". But a great defensive play made there for the Renegades, and brings up 4th and goal. BattleHawks can keep the offense out there and go for it, and I like the decision from Anthony Becht. Could be Max Duggan quarterback run here. 4th and goal from the 2. Duggan in shotgun back to his left. Duggan gonna look to throw. Duggan throwing, that is broken up. Trying to get it to Butler. The throw is low and knocked down. And the Renegades defense for the 4th down stop. That was a tight window to throw into. Nice defensive play. Oh, wait, was that broken up? I thought that was... I think that hit Butler like right in the chest from that angle. If so, major missed opportunity there for the BattleHawks. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. But the BattleHawks get aggressive, it does not work. Major missed opportunity there after getting the ball down to the 1-yard line. And now it's going to be Renegades football on their own 2. But the game still scoreless, 5:13 to go in the first half. I don't really watch this league. I just want to say what's up. I appreciate that. How's your day going? So they're back from commercials. They go back to this goal line sequence for the BattleHawks. Sailors went backwards, then back-to-back incompletions on 3rd and 4th down. I wish you streamed the NBA. Nuggets are battling. Your day is okay. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't really follow the NBA. That's why I don't really make videos or stream at all for the NBA. Like, I don't really, like I kind of have an idea what's going on. Like, I haven't really been watching the playoffs, but I know, like, who's winning and stuff. But I just don't really follow the NBA. Not a huge fan of it. There's a handoff up the middle for Kalen Balaj, gain of about 4 to the 6-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the first half. A lot of games plus playoffs, best of 7, yeah. I mean, the playoffs are exciting, but I just don't really... It's hard for me to get invested into playoffs when I don't really watch the regular season, if that makes sense. So 2nd and 6, Perez hands off, Balaj, no gain. Like, if there's nothing else to watch, like, I'll watch, like, the playoffs or something like that, but I'm just not really the biggest NBA fan. Alright, bro. Hope you're well. Catch you on the flip side. Thanks for stopping by when you could. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. So 3rd and 5. Here for the Renegades. Play clock at 2. And we got a flag that comes in here. Looks like it's going to be a false start. And we got a false start on the right tackle. Number 59 for the Renegades. Makes it 3rd and 10, but they're backed up to the 2-yard line. That is their 3rd false start penalty of the day. So 3rd and 10. Perez standing in his own end zone. Balaj to his right or left. Perez going to look to throw. Pressure. Perez gets rid of it. I don't know if there's anyone in the area. That was definitely a pass. But there's a chance this could be grounding. Did not go past the line of scrimmage. I don't know if there was a receiver in the area either. So it's going to be 4th down. There's no intentional grounding. They're saying the throw was impacted by the pressure and the contact. That's why there's no grounding. So now the Renegades send on the punt unit. Got to make sure this doesn't get blocked. From their own 1-yard line, or 2-yard line, Marquette King standing at the very back of his own end zone. King able to get it away. And here's Ja'Cour Pearson from the 45. Pearson up the middle of the field. Good return to the 32. And that's going to set the BattleHawks up in excellent starting field position. And even though the BattleHawks don't convert on that 4th down, that's why I like the aggressive decision there for Anthony Beck. Your defense nearly forces a grounding in the end zone for a safety. But even though they don't, you force a punt from deep inside their own territory, and you get the ball on the 34-yard line. So great starting field position here for the BattleHawks. Duggan in the pistol. Blake Jackson comes across the formation. Here goes the handoff to Jacob Sowers, and Sowers going to break a tackle. Sowers gains 4 on 1st down. To the 30. Under 3 minutes to go in the 1st half. Game still scoreless. So 2nd and 6. 2:35 to go in the 1st half. Duggan under center. Play clock at 2. They'll get the snap off. Duggan looks to throw. Has plenty of time. Duggan takes a shot downfield. Broken up. Again, trying to find Hakeem Butler. But another nice pass breakup there for the Renegades. Jaden Price with another pass breakup. He's had a really nice game so far for the Renegades. So it's 3rd and 6. It's going to be 3rd and 6. 2 minutes left in the first half. But we got 2 minutes left in the first half. BattleHawks with a 3rd and 6. Game's still scoreless. Alright. Now they're back from commercial. 2 minutes left in the first half. Game's still scoreless. This game might end like 0-0. So we got 2 minutes left in the first half. 0-0 is the score. Third and 6 from the 30. Duggan in shotgun back to his right. Duggan looks to throw. Duggan takes a shot down the sideline into the end zone. Call for a touchdown. Hakeem Butler makes the catch. There is a flag down, but Butler with a great catch if it stands. Let's see. It's offsides against the Renegades. The touchdown's gonna stand. Hakeem Butler with his first catch of the game. With the game's first points. What a throw, what a catch. They finally able to hit Hakeem Butler deep. Pretty good throw from Max Duggan. And a really nice catch for Hakeem Butler, who now, between last week and this week, has 3 catches. All of them for touchdowns. BattleHawks going to go for 2 here. Duggan knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So we finally get points. It is now 6-0 BattleHawks after a 30-yard touchdown to Hakeem Butler. Been targeted 4 times, caught 0 of them before that play. That's his first catch of the season. I'm sorry, first catch of the game. And I just checked his stats. Hakeem Butler. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns on the year. That is incredibly impressive. Obviously, he did miss time. He didn't have a single catch week 1. And missed weeks 2 through 4 with a hamstring injury. But then, last week, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and he keeps that up this week with a 30-yard touchdown. So the Renegades are going to get the ball back. BattleHawks up 6-0. And this one going to hit in the end zone for a touchback. Butler on the season, now 3 catches for 154 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 1st and 10 from the 35 here for the Renegades after the kick of the touchback. Here's a delayed handoff, and Day Hunter is thrown to the ground. Travis Feeney takes him down for a loss of 5. Feeney might be one of the most underrated players in the UFL. He's having a really nice year. And I feel like whenever I watch this guy, he is dominating. So 2nd and 15. Another run play. Day Hunter takes a big hit after a gain of 7. I think if I'm the BattleHawks, I might call a timeout here. It's 3rd and 8. If you're the Renegades, you're probably not in any rush. But let's see. I for sure call a timeout if I'm the BattleHawks if I gotta stop. If it's completed. Perez pressured. Perez thrown down, another sack. And now I call a timeout here from the BattleHawks. A great possession for the BattleHawks defense. They do call a timeout with 48 seconds left in the first half. But what a series for this BattleHawks defense. Hunter loses 5 on 1st down. Then he'll get 7 yards back. And then a sack here of Luis Perez on 3rd down. What a possession, 3 and out. And the BattleHawks get the ball back, 48 seconds, and they'll have a timeout to work with. Marquette King to punt once again. 4th and 16. And Takor Pearson from the 17-yard line. Will return it to the 33. And that is where Max Duggan and the BattleHawks offense will take over once again. 37 seconds and a timeout to work with. So let's see if the BattleHawks can get more points right here before halftime. They do get the ball after halftime as well, so a really big opportunity here for the BattleHawks. Even if you only get a touchdown here, or a field goal here, I mean, you got kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, got a big leg. He can definitely hit from deep, even if you only get 3 right here before halftime. Duggan to throw. Duggan throwing outside, caught by Frank Darby. And Frank Darby, nice move after the catch, still going. Darby thrown down at the 49-yard line. Clock will temporarily stop with 29 seconds left. And Frank Darby, the former NFL receiver, with a really nice move after the catch, and a nice catch and run. We got an injured player down on the field here for the Renegades. Hopefully he's okay. Not sure who that is. Oh, that's Chris Odom. Hopefully he's okay for the Renegades. He's a really, really good pass rusher. He got hit by his own teammate. That was hopefully Chris Odom's okay. So 29 seconds left in the first half. From their own 49, Duggan with the back to his right. BattleHawks have one timeout. Renegades are out of timeouts. Duggan looks to throws underneath. That is caught by Blake Jackson, who will have another first down to the 38. Clock going to temporarily stop with 23 seconds left. So the ball is spotted. Another nice play there for the BattleHawks offense. They're going to spike this here with 20 seconds left. And the ball on the 38-yard line. BattleHawks going to save that final timeout. They've got one. Renegades are out of timeouts. Duggan in shotgun, Sailors to his right. Duggan tries to get it to Sailors to the outside, but it's bad at the line of scrimmage. And incomplete. How did that play take 6 seconds? But the play takes 6 seconds, from 20 seconds down to 14. You still have a timeout, so you can really do whatever you want here. Just don't take a sack if you're Max Duggan. Alright, they put a couple seconds back on the clock. So 16 seconds left. It's 3rd and 10. Don't take a sack for Max Duggan. That's priority number 1 on this play for the BattleHawks. Duggan in shotgun, Sailors to his left. Here's a draw play, Sailors up the middle, and Sailors down to the 31-yard line. And the BattleHawks going to let this go to about 3 seconds and call a timeout. There's the timeout for the BattleHawks. 2 seconds left in the first half. And it is going to be a field goal try here for Rodrigo Blankenship. Try to put the BattleHawks up by 9 before the half. Blankenship has not missed yet this year. He's perfect 12 of 12. Long of 56. This is going to be a 48-yarder for Rodrigo Blankenship. Former Colts kicker in the NFL. Kicked at Georgia in college. So it's a 49-yarder here for Blankenship before halftime. And the kick is on the way right down the middle. 9-0 BattleHawks lead at the half. A great second quarter for St. Louis. They hold the Renegades just 4 yards in the second quarter. And they themselves have like 130 yards in the second quarter. But the BattleHawks get off to a slow start, much better in the second quarter. And they're up 9-0 at the half. Actually, the Renegades can don't get the ball. BattleHawks get the ball to start the second half as well. So it's a 9-0. BattleHawk lead at the half. And I'm going to go take a quick break. As I do at halftime for every game I stream, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Thank you guys for staying with me as I took a quick break. But the BattleHawks lead the Renegades 9-0 at the half. A great first half not a great first half for the BattleHawks, but a great close to the first half for the BattleHawks. Great second quarter. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, a little bit lower scoring first half than I expected. But I still think the offense is going to pick up a little bit, although the Renegades just haven't really been great so far. Like, the Renegades, they got 67 yards, 2.5 yards of play, and they started to move the ball at the beginning of the game. They just couldn't finish their drives. Like, the Renegades in the first quarter combined... Renegades in the first quarter, 73 yards. In the second quarter, they had 0 yards. And then you compare that to what the BattleHawks did in the first and second quarters. The BattleHawks in their first quarter, they had 15 yards. In the second quarter, let's add this up. 2, 55, 34, and 37. 128 yards in the second quarter. However, it's really the tale of two quarters. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, I think the scoring will pick up a little bit. But I'm going to stick with the BattleHawks. They've definitely got the momentum on their side. They get the ball to start the second half as well. And let's go with the BattleHawks by a score of... Let's go... Oh, let's see. Let's go BattleHawks... We'll say like 23... We'll say 23-14 BattleHawks. So that's the updated score prediction. BattleHawks 23-14. And as far as stats in the first half go, we'll start off with player stats for the Renegades. Luis Perez, 6 of 9 for 40 yards. No touchdowns or interceptions. On the ground for the Renegades, Kalen Balaj, 9 carries, 30 yards. Dede Hunter, 6 carries, 9 yards. And Luis Perez, a carry for 2 yards. Then receiving for the Renegades, Isaiah Winstead, 2 for 14. Sal Canella, 2 for 13. Deontay Burnett, 1 for 9. Kalen Balaj, 1 for 4. And Lawan Winningham caught a touchdown, though got called back because he stepped out of bounds before he caught it. So he has no catches on a target. Then for the BattleHawks, Max Duggan is 5 of 13 for 79 yards and a touchdown. Definitely not great, completing just 38.5% of his passes, but he's made some pretty solid throws that have been broken up. And definitely looking pretty good as a passer, even though completion percentage might not be great. It's looked pretty solid. Duggan's got 4 carries for 51 yards. Jacob Saylor, 6 carries, 21 yards. And Blake Jackson, 1 carry for 5 yards. Then receiving for the BattleHawks, Hakeem Butler, 1 catch, 30 yards and a touchdown. Blake Jackson, 2 catches for 22 yards. Frank Darby, 1 catch for 16 yards. And Ja'Cour Pearson, 1 catch for 11 yards. Then team stats from the first half. The BattleHawks outgaining the Renegades at 143-67. The BattleHawks at more yards per play, 5.5 to 2.5. The BattleHawks have been the better team through the air and on the ground. Renegades have turned it over once, and the Renegades have had the ball for longer. 17:31 time possession compared to 12:29 for the BattleHawks. An area where the Renegades have been pretty good is third downs, where they're 4 of 8. They started off really hot there. Four of their first 5 third downs. But since then, they're 0 for 3, and they're 4 and 8 so far. But the second half should start within the next couple of minutes. The BattleHawks up 9-0. They get the ball to start the second half as well. And so far, results in the poll, 71% of you guys, the BattleHawks win, 29% have said the Renegades. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. My updated score prediction, I've got the BattleHawks 23-14. Hold on 1 second, just want to check something real quick. Alright, second half set to kick off. The Renegades got off to a hot start, really cooled off in the second half, and was the exact opposite for the BattleHawks. The BattleHawks do get the ball to start the second half, and the kick is away, going to be returned here by Blake Jackson from about the 3-yard line. Jackson, on the return, will get it to the 30 before he's taken down. Renegades try to rip the ball free. But Max Duggan and the BattleHawks offense take the field for the first time here in the second half. Definitely not the best first half offensively for the BattleHawks, but they're up by 9, and they definitely got the momentum on their side. The offense started to play a lot better. Let's see if that carries over here to half number 2. First and 10 here from the 30. Duggan, in shotgun, Sailors to his right. Duggan off play action, going to take a shot down the field right away, and that's incomplete. Wanted Hakeem Butler. They definitely tried to take their shots downfield to him. But Butler covered very tightly on that play. It seems like if they've had Hakeem Butler 1-on-1, they're going to want to take that shot. He's, I think, 6'5 or 6'6. So 2nd and 10. Duggan off play action. Going to zip one way downfield. It's off the hands of Frank Darby and incomplete. That was right there. Darby was wide open. Duggan could have made a little bit of a better throw. That one should be caught. It's a little bit too far from Duggan, but that should have been caught. Now 3rd and 10 here for the BattleHawks. Duggan, pressure. Duggan is going to be wrapped up for a sack. Back at the 24-yard line. Taylor with another sack. And the BattleHawks going to go 3 and out to start this second half. So it's 4th and 15. The BattleHawks forced to punt. And the Renegades going to get the ball for their first time here in the second half. Going to be returned here from about the 29 and gets returned to the 33. Pretty solid return there for the Renegades. And let's see if they can get their offense going. They held scoreless in the first half. And let's see what the Renegades can do for their first possession offensively in the second half. But the BattleHawks, they go 3 plays, throw it on all 3. I don't hate any of the calls, but I mean, it was a really nice play on 2nd down. They just couldn't connect. Because Darby had to go off his hands. Duggan definitely could have made a better throw as well. But I mean, it was not like the pass was uncatchable or anything like that. It was right there. Just went off the hands of Frank Darby. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. Renegades with the ball after they force a 3 and out. Alright, so they're back from commercial. Renegades with the ball. Renegades with the ball. 12:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Their first possession here in the second half. From their own 37, Perez in shotgun back to his left. That's Kalen Balaj. Now Balaj shifts to his right. And Perez throws quickly that is caught. Javonte Payton in space. Payton with the first down into BattleHawks territory to the 46. And a nice play to start this drive here for the Renegades. What an RPO. Able to find Payton for 17. Nice play. So 1st and 10 from the BattleHawk 46. Perez in shotgun. Balaj to his left. He'll go to the ground. Balaj hitting the backfield, breaks a tackle. And then he'll gain 2. Flag comes in. Renegades really haven't ran the ball too effectively so far today. We got a holding call here against the Renegades. That'll back them up 10. They get 1st and 20. Kalen Balaj a little shaken up after that one as well. Looks like a potential shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like his left shoulder is getting worked on by the trainers. Here's handoff to Day Hunter, and he's going to gain 2. So 2nd and 18. Empty backfield for Luis Perez. Perez throws quickly caught by Tyler Vaughns, his first catch of the game. And Vaughns can gain about 7. Still going to be 3rd and long. So 3rd and 12 here for the Renegades. Perez in shotgun back to his left. Renegades 4 of 8 on 3rd down. Started 4 for 5, since then 0 for 3. Perez throws outside, that is intercepted! Picked off by Chris Payton-Jones! Forced to the bounds of the 48-yard line. A big interception there for the BattleHawks. Perez gets picked off on 3rd and long, and the BattleHawks defense forced the 2nd turnover of the day. He's trying to find Tyler Vaughns on, looks like a curl route. But Payton-Jones jumps it. The 2nd turnover of the day forced by this BattleHawks defense. And they get the ball back. Great field position, just shy of midfield. But another turnover forced by this BattleHawk defense. It's the 2nd turnover of the day. Perez has now thrown an interception and lost a fumble. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Let's see how the BattleHawks offense will here for their 2nd possession here in the 2nd half. So they go back to the interception. Vaughns is running a comeback route. But Perez throws it behind him and late. Or maybe Vaughn's might have run the wrong route. So 1st and 10 here for the BattleHawks. Very tight formation. From their own 47. Duggan in the pistol. We'll toss this. Jarvion Howard left side. And Howard going to pick up about 2. On his first carry of the game. Howard had a big game in the opener against the Roughnecks, which really all came in garbage time. But he's been pretty quiet since. He stays in here for 2nd and 8. Duggan under center. Duggan off play action. Pressured. Duggan, wow! He just got sacked by about 5 guys. Half the defense sacks Max Duggan, and it's 3rd and long. Kalen Balaj going to the locker room for the Renegades, by the way. With a left shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay. So 3rd and 14. Duggan in shotgun back to his left. Duggan against a 4-man rush. Duggan throws downfield that is knocked down. Incomplete, trying to get it to Frank Darby. And back-to-back 3 and outs here for this BattleHawks offense to start this drive. Or to start this second half. Max Duggan's now just 5 of 15 passing. So it's going to be back-to-back 3 and outs here for the BattleHawks to start the second half. And the Renegades can get the ball back. Renegades defense does a real good job making sure the turnover doesn't hurt him. This punt is going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. But the Renegades defense forces 2 3 and outs to start the second half, and maybe, just maybe, the offense can do something now. So 8:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. There's still plenty of time left in this game. But the Renegades are going to need the offense to at least score some points if they want to have a chance to win this game. But their defense keeping them in this game, playing really well. Thanks for play-by-play tonight. Can't get the game. No, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually do a stream like this for every Friday night game in the UFL. Hold on 1 second. Alright, we wait for them to come back from commercial. BattleHawks up 9-0. Renegades with the ball on their own 25-yard line after the punt. BattleHawks, both their drives in the second half got 3 and outs as well as lost yards. 3 plays, loss of 5 yards, and 3 plays for loss of 4 yards. Renegades, they were moving the ball a little bit before they threw the interception. They 4 plays, 15 yards. Luis Perez got off to a good start, 5 of 6, 36 yards in the first quarter. Since then, he's 3 of 6 for 27 yards and interception. Perez looks to throw here. Gonna set up the screen for Day Hunter. And I think there's a lineman way too far downfield on that play. But Hunter's gonna gain 13. Are we gonna replay this? Alright, here we go. I'm pretty sure there's a lineman like... No, actually not. Never mind. He did a really good job waiting. I thought he went too far downfield, but a really nice job being patient from the offensive line. You see that a lot. We got a challenge flag thrown here by Anthony Beck and the BattleHawks. Maybe they are going to challenge that. Yeah, he wants to challenge the lineman downfield. They're saying number 65 was too far downfield. So let's see, 65, that's the left guard. I believe you can be 3 yards downfield. Yeah, he's within 3. I think that's good. Yeah, that's not a great challenge there for the BattleHawks. Yeah. I don't really like the challenge. So Beck loses the challenge and a timeout. Now both teams are without their challenge. So 1st and 10 here from the 39 after the challenge is unsuccessful from the BattleHawks. Javonte Payton comes in motion. Here's the handoff. Now we got play blown dead. We had a clock problem here. So 1st and 10, 7:23 or 7:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Perez in the pistol. Hands off. Day Hunter right side breaks the tackle, and Hunter then taken down at the line of scrimmage. Did a good job not to lose yards, but can't gain anything either. So the BattleHawks still up 9-0. Second and 9. Here's a touch pass forward to Javonte Payton, and Payton getting 8 about 4 on the jet sweep. So 3rd and 5. Here for the Renegades. On their own 44-yard line. They're 4 of 9 on 3rd down. 0 for their last 4. 3rd and 5. Perez throwing quickly. Got it. First down Renegades. Deontay Burnett makes the catch. Gain of 7. Although we got a flag down now. If it stands, the 7-yard pickup and a first down for the Renegades. This is going to come back, though. We got a face mask against the offense. It's against 65. That's their left guard. Marcus Minor. He's had a really rough game today. And that's his 3rd or 4th penalty. Yeah, his 4th penalty he's gotten called for today. He's really struggled. Got a couple of false starts, a holding call, and now a face mask. But it takes off a first down. And because it's a 15-yard penalty, it brings you from a 3rd and 5 to a 3rd and 20. So 3rd and 20 here for the Renegades. Perez, empty backfield. Isaiah Winstead in motion. Perez to throw on 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen here to Day. Hunter's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And the BattleHawks defense going to force a punt. BattleHawks come after the punt. Don't block it. Marquette Kings gets it away cleanly. Blake Jackson lets this roll and ends up taking a good Renegades roll down to about the 10-yard line. Now there's a flag that comes down. But it was down at the 10-yard line. But let's check this flag first. We're going to get a hold against, I believe it just signaled Renegades. Yeah. Before the kick, we get a hold against the Renegades. That's going to back them up 10. And the BattleHawks want them to re-kick. Which makes sense, because that was a really good punt. That is already the 9th Renegade penalty for 68 yards. BattleHawks have just 3 penalties for 25 yards. That's been a big problem of the game for the Renegades. Lots of penalties. They had a touchdown taken off the board due to a penalty. Really undisciplined, especially offensively, where it's really hurt them. They've still got no points. Oh, King got hit. That might be a penalty right there. A flag comes in. Jackson fields this at the 34. And Blake Jackson returns it to the 48. 14 yards on return for Blake Jackson, although this might be a first down for the Renegades. Yeah, this is roughing the kicker. It's a personal foul, and the Renegades are going to keep possession. That's a big penalty. It was 4th and 30 on that play, too. That is a big penalty. It gives the Renegades a first down after 4th and 30. Ball on their own 34. Perez hands off Day Hunter for a gain of a yard. 2nd and 8 from the 36. Perez in shotgun back to his right. Off play action, Perez pressured. Perez rolls to his left. Perez going to scramble here, and he will slide after a gain of a yard. So it's 3rd and 7. Third and 7 here for the Renegades. Perez in shotgun back to his left. Play clock at 1. And we got flags coming. It's going to be delay a game here for the Renegades. Yeah, we got to delay a game against the Renegades that'll back them up 5, make it 3rd and 12. Another offensive mistake for the Renegades. That is their 10th penalty of the day. And backs them up from 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 12. So 3rd and 12. Perez in shotgun, back to his left. Perez. No, we got play blown dead again. We got a flag that comes in. And we got a false start. Another penalty against the Renegades. Man, this is getting really bad. Third and 17. After back-to-back penalties. Perez in shotgun back to his left. Perez looks to throw against a 3-man rush. Perez steps up in the pocket. Throws downfield. Call for a first down. Hold on, the BattleHawks say incomplete. Did the ball hit the ground? They're going to say it's a catch for Deontay Burnett and a first down. Wow. Huge conversion there for the Renegades on 3rd and 17. Perez does a really nice job, steps up in the pocket, and on the run delivers an accurate throw to Deontay Burnett for a first down. We got a timeout called here by the Renegades, with the play clock winding down. But a huge 3rd down conversion keeps the drive alive. It's their first 3rd down conversion in a while. 2:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. That was huge. They needed 17 and Burnett got 18. And a first down for Arlington. Attendance for tonight's game has been announced. It is 26,684. So, not terrible, considering the Cardinals and Blues both have home games tonight, and the Blues are in the playoffs against the the Jets. So, definitely understandable why it's a little bit lower for the BattleHawks. It is their worst attendance of the year. But, I mean, when you got a playoff hockey game going on in the same city as well as a home baseball game, it's pretty good, I would say. It's the first time the BattleHawks did not hit 30,000 this season. They're at 26,000. But, I mean, I still think that's pretty good. Last year, the lowest for the BattleHawks was 30,000. So attendance is definitely down a little bit this year for the BattleHawks, but I still think it's pretty solid. But we wait for them to come back from commercial after the timeout from the Renegades. Got a 1st and 10 after a big 3rd down conversion. So 2:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still a 9-0 BattleHawks lead. First and 10 here for the Renegades at their own 44. Perez looks to throw. Perez checks down to Day Hunter. Got space after the catch. Hunter going to outrun a linebacker inside the 30, forced to bounce at the 28. Nice catch and run there and just a simple check down. And a good play there for the Renegades. One way or another, does St. Louis get an NFL team? I don't know. I mean, they definitely should have an NFL team. Because, I mean, look at this crowd that they got. Obviously, fan base that wants football. Perez, quick throw to the outside, drop by Burnett, incomplete. But, I mean, I just don't really know if there'd be a team that's going to move to St. Louis. I would say probably not. But I think St. Louis is the type of city the UFL needs to target. St. Louis, like Oakland, San Diego, cities that have lost NFL teams in the past that clearly have football support. 2nd and 10, Perez throws to the outside, caught by Day Hunter, and he's going to get taken down for a loss of a yard. Willie Harvey with the tackle for loss, and it's 3rd down. So 3rd and 11. Renegades get to the line quick. Perez and shotgun back to his right. Still 15 on the play clock. 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 11 from the 30. Perez looks to throw. Pressured. Perez is going to get a throw off as he's falling to the ground. But Hunter's not going to get much after the catch. He'll gain about 2. But a great job by Perez just to not take a sack. It was a gain of 2 on the play. So it's going to be 4th and 9. And that also brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Still a 9-0 BattleHawks lead. Been a low-scoring game so far. Definitely thought we'd see more points in this game. But we enter the 4th quarter, BattleHawks up by 9. Renegades will have the opportunity to get on the board here and cut it to a 6-point game. So with the ball currently on the 28, that'll be a 45-yarder? Yeah, 45-yard field goal, roughly. So they'll have an opportunity to get on the board, although they did miss a field goal back on their first drive. That was from 44, so no guarantee they make this. But it's a 9-6 BattleHawks lead entering the fourth quarter. Definitely not the type of game I expected. Thought we'd see a lot more offense in this game. I mean, the offenses have been picking up in the UFL. I mean, you're talking about two offenses that had scored over 30 last week, with the BattleHawks putting up 32, and the Renegades scoring 33. Definitely thought we'd see more offense in this game, but clearly not. Unless we see an extremely high-scoring fourth quarter. So we start the fourth quarter, BattleHawks up 9-0. The BattleHawks really struggled in that third quarter, especially offensively, with minus 9 yards. It's been such a strange game. Renegades controlled the first quarter, BattleHawks controlled the second quarter, and the Renegades, I guess, controlled the third quarter. 45-yard field goal to get on the board here for the Renegades, up and good, and they're finally on the board. They actually mark a 46-yarder, and it is now 9-3. A 6-point game, so a touchdown will tie it without a conversion for the Renegades. But it only takes the Renegades 3 quarters to get on the board, and it's now 9-3. So the kickoff going to be returned here for the BattleHawks, and not really going anywhere, taking out the 20-yard line. That is a terrible return. A flag comes in as well. Oh, this is not good for the BattleHawks. They got an illegal block in the back on the return as well. They're going to have the ball at like the 10-yard line. So 1st and 10. Here for the BattleHawks on their own 10-yard line. Terrible field position after kickoff. Duggan on the option, trying to get to the outside. Won't be able to do so. He's chopped down for a loss of 4. Ajane Harris with a tackle for loss. So 2nd and 14. Duggan, another option. He's going to be able to turn the corner here. Max Duggan. That was actually really nice play. He had to make a big loop to make sure he was going to be able to get positive yardage. And he's going to get to the 15-yard line. Make it 3rd and 5. He was just able to get around Chris Odom, who could have taken him down back near the goal line. So 3rd and 5. Here for the BattleHawks. Duggan and shotgun back to his left. Play clock at 2. They'll get the snap off. Duggan to throw. Duggan, ball is out! The ball is out! It's recovered. No, it's still loose. And the ball is now recovered by the Renegades. And they're going to return it out of bounds at the 9-yard line. A huge turnover forced by this Renegades defense. I thought they were going to recover that a lot sooner. Chris Odom was right there, but he tried to pick it up instead of just dive on it. But Taco Charlton, a new addition to the Renegades team, knocked it out. And then was eventually recovered. And returned to the 9-yard line. What a play for the Renegades defense. It's the first turnover of the day for the BattleHawks. They do it to make sure this isn't a forward pass. Or like a... No, I think he's definitely... not coming forward yet. But that is a big turnover forced by this Renegades defense. And I missed the first down play. Sorry. Oh, wow. Perez almost just threw it right to the defender, who dropped it on the first down. That could have been huge. Dropped interception there for the BattleHawks. Now 2nd and goal. Perez hands off. Devion Smith up the middle for about 2 yards. No Kalen Balaz. We haven't seen him since he got hurt. Obviously, hopefully he's okay. Hey, how's it going? 3rd and goal from the 8. Perez, empty backfield. They go 5 wide. Perez looks to throw. Perez pressured. Escapes the sack. Perez just gets rid of the ball. The BattleHawks want intentional grounding. But it's no flag. This could be a major missed opportunity here for the Renegades. They got the ball on the 10-yard line after a fumble, and you're going to be forced to settle for a field goal, not gaining any yards, and nearly throwing a pick. So a major missed opportunity here for the Renegades, and they're going to be forced to settle for 3. I'll get to your comment in 1 second. The field goal right down the middle. And it is now a 3-point game. So the Renegades get points off the turnover, but definitely could have been better. It's now 9-6. BattleHawks lead the Renegades. With 11:45 to go in the 4th quarter. You happy with the Giants draft picks? I think you guys did quite well, to be honest. Yeah, I'm really happy with the Giants draft. I think they had a really good draft. I mean, they got arguably the best player in Abdul Carter. they got who can hopefully be their quarterback of the future in Jackson Dart. Then you got Darius Alexander, who I really like to pick in the 3rd round. Cam Skadabu in round 4. And him and Tyrone Tracy, I think, could be a great running back duo. And then Marcus Bowe in the 5th round. Yeah, I think the Giants did a great draft. You're jealous of Skadabu. I think he was a steal. Yeah, he's a really good player. I mean, maybe 4th round was a little. I don't know. I think 4th round is probably around where he was expected to go. I mean, he can definitely end up outperforming where he was drafted. We see a lot of guys do that. But I mean, I think he was probably going to go somewhere around there. Late day 2, early day 3. What? Yeah, I think he could be a good player. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. 11:45 to go in the 4th quarter. A 3-point BattleHawks lead. I actually can't believe how far Shador fell. Yeah, his fall was crazy. Going to the 5th round. I did not think he should have been a top 10 pick like some people thought. But falling to the 5th round is crazy. He's definitely way more talented than a 5th round quarterback. The kick is returned here from the 13, and Blake Jackson returns it to the 33. That is where the BattleHawks offense will take over. But I think the attitude with Shador Sanders had a lot to do with it. I mean, the way he probably kind of wanted to come control the team right away as a rookie when nobody had any idea if he was any good or not. I think that definitely played a factor into it. First and 10, Duggan hands off. Jacob Sowers up the middle for about 4, maybe 5 yards. I went back and watched some of the Colorado games and can't believe it. His interview must have been crazy bad. Yeah, I mean, when watching his film, he's definitely not an elite quarterback prospect, but I think he's very good. If I was a team strictly based off on-field performance, I think he probably should have went round 2, round 3. But yeah, the interviews had to have been insane for him to fall all the way to round 5. 2nd and 6. Here for the BattleHawks. Duggan designed quarterback run on the left side. And Duggan taken down for a loss of a yard. It is 3rd and 7. And then the thing also with Shador Sanders is he got taken by the Browns. He's in a position right now. They do have 5 quarterbacks on their roster. But he can realistically win the starting job. I would not be shocked to see that. So he could end up being a starting quarterback in the NFL, despite being a 5th round pick. Like this season. 3rd and 7. Duggan gonna look to throw. Duggan pump fakes, throws. That is caught by Jackson. Breaks the tackle. And Jackson loses his balance, but he dives ahead for a 1st down. That was a much needed conversion there for the BattleHawks. And they move the sticks. So 1st and 10 from the 45. Duggan hands off. Sowers up the middle, breaks the tackle, and Jacob Sowers dragging defenders along for the ride with him. Gain of 8. Makes it 2nd and 2. Sowers had a pretty quiet game. I feel like he hasn't even touched the ball that much. Yeah, I don't understand why they took Gabriel before him. They don't need all those quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with 5 quarterbacks? That's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, Dylan Gabriel going before Shedeur Sanders was wild. Second and 3 here for the BattleHawks. Duggan, quick throw, caught, 1st down. Denzel Mims, the former Jet, makes the catch for a gain of 4 and a 1st down. I also feel bad for Travis Hunter. He's so good and ends up in Jacksonville. He deserves a better team. I think there was a better option for him with the Jaguars trading up as opposed to the Browns. I mean, the Browns, they've just been so historically bad. Like, they've never been good. But I mean, I think he's at least got potential with the Jaguars. They've got who they think can be their franchise quarterback. They've got an offensive-minded coach. I like the fit there more than he went to the Browns. Play clock winding down here. The BattleHawks forced to call a timeout. The third of their second they've spent here in the second half. Leaves them with 1 remaining. Oh, that's true. I forgot he could have went to the Browns. That would have been bad. Yeah, that would have been terrible. I mean, I don't know a single person who says, yeah, I want to play for the Browns. That's pretty bad. So 1st and 10 here for the BattleHawks. 8:24 to go in the 4th quarter. BattleHawks up 9-6. Duggan in shotgun. Darby comes across the formation. They'll toss to Sowers right side. And Jacob Sowers is going to spin his way back inside for a gain of about 3. I'm going to say he actually stepped out of bounds. So 2nd and 7. Duggan in shotgun back to his right. Duggan hands off. Sowers up the middle. Breaks the tackle and he's going to be close to a 1st down. Looks like he's going to be just short. So 3rd and 1 here for the BattleHawks. Definitely moving the ball more effectively on this drive. Gone to the ground a little bit more. Haven't really run the ball a ton. But they've done it this drive and it's worked. 3rd and 1. I would think this could be 4-down territory. Here for the BattleHawks. From the 34. Duggan in shotgun. Sowers to his right. They're going to keep this in the ground. Sowers stuffed at the line. No gain there for the BattleHawks. And now it's decision time for Anthony Becht. It's going to be marked a 4th and 2. The defense has played really well for the BattleHawks. Renegades have not gotten in the end zone yet. So I can definitely understand kicking the field goal here, making it a 6-point game. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to send on the field goal unit Rodrigo Blankenship, a 53-yarder. And the kick for Blankenship on the way. And it is good. He is now a perfect 14 of 14 on the season. And Blankenship doubles the BattleHawks lead. It is now a 6-point lead as they lead this in 12-6. But 12-6, 6:23 to go. Still a very low-scoring game. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. A 6-point lead for the BattleHawks. The Renegades going to need to get in the end zone at some point. They have not scored a touchdown yet in this game. Just a couple of field goals, which we've actually seen in the last couple of drives. Now, this is not the first time we've seen the Renegades struggle offensively. They were not good in the game against the Roughnecks or the game against the Stallions. That game against the Stallions looked like they might be able to win, but then at the end of that game, they allowed a late touchdown and ended up losing. So they're back from commercial, and let's see what the Renegades can do here as they get the ball down by 6. Big missed opportunity on their last drive. Getting the ball at the 10-yard line and not being able to get in the end zone, having to settle for 3. So the kick is away. Can be returned from the 5-yard line. And on the return here is Day Hunter to the 29. Still no Kalen Balaj for the Renegades. He is out with a shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay. So 1st and 10 here from the 28. Perez and shotgun back to his right. Perez hands off. Day Hunter bounces outside of the right. And Hunter with a nice run, getting gain about 6 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 4. Six minutes to go. Day Hunter has 10 carries for 20 yards. Renegades haven't really run the ball too effectively, just 55 yards on the ground. 2nd and 4. Another handoff. Hunter hitting the backfield, breaks the tackle. Hunter into the secondary. Day Hunter to midfield. Nice run there. Right when I said they haven't been running the ball effectively, Day Hunter with 2 nice runs. They combined to gain 22 yards. Nice running there for the Renegades. I think that could be big if they can get the run game going. Perez throwing quickly, that is caught by Devonta Payton in stride. Payton down to the 31-yard line. Ball comes out. Let's see. BattleHawks end up with the ball. Hold on. Is this BattleHawks ball? It's BattleHawks football. Wow. The ruling in the field is a catch and a fumble. That is huge. Let's see. Javonta Payton. Yeah, that's a fumble. Wow. That is a huge turnover. That is huge. Definitely a catch. Definitely a fumble. Massive turnover there for the Renegades. Right when it looked like the Renegades had gotten the offense going a little bit, too. Peyton fumbles. It's a really nice hit. Puts his head right on the ball, knocks it out. It's a really nice hit to force the fumble. Yeah, that was a turnover. It's the third turnover of the day for the Renegades. First and 10 here for the BattleHawks on their own 29. Duggan hands off. Sellers right side. And Sellers breaking tackles. Jacob Sellers is going to gain about 4 yards. Yeah, no problem. So second and 7. 4:20 to go. Each team with one timeout remaining. BattleHawks up 12-6. Duggan hands off. Sellers up the middle for another 3 yards. That'll bring up third and 4. Sellers definitely hasn't had his best game. He's got 13 carries for 46 yards. Though he's been a little bit better lately. He's also been used a little bit more as of late. So third and 3. Duggan gonna look to throw. Gonna set up the screen here. Oh, knocked down at the line. What a play by Donald Payne. That saved a first down and a huge play for the BattleHawks. Man, Sellers was probably getting 20 on that play, but Payne with a huge, huge pass breakup knocks it down. Wow, what a play by Donald Payne. That was huge. Now the Renegades going to get the ball back. So again, their defense makes the turnover, doesn't hurt them. On the return of the punt, a lot of dancing around and not much going forward. Gain of about 3. So 2:53 to go, a 6-point BattleHawks lead, 12-6. And same situation the Renegades were just in, just slightly less time. They got 2:53 to go. And you need a touchdown. You're down by 6. You're with the exact same situation. Obviously, got to make sure you don't turn the ball over. Again, the Renegades have already turned the ball over 3 times in this game. 2 lost fumbles and an interception. So 12-6, the BattleHawks lead the Renegades. Been a very defensive game so far. The Renegades have just 203 yards, BattleHawks 166. Renegades averaging 4.2 yards per play, BattleHawks 3.6. But defense is dominating this game. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Renegades with the ball on their own 27-yard line, and each team with one timeout remaining. It's a 6-point game, 2:53 to go. So 1st and 10 from the 28. Perez in shotgun, Hunter to his left. He'll go to the ground. Day Hunter up the middle, breaks a tackle, and Hunter going to gain 6 to the 34-yard line. A nice run there, bouncing off defenders. So 2nd and 4. Perez in shotgun back to his left. 2:20 to go. Again, they're going to go to the ground. Hunter up the middle is going to power his way ahead for 5 yards and a first down. And that's probably going to take us to 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes left in this game. A huge game for the XFL conference. Actually, I haven't really talked about that. But, yeah, both these teams are 3-2. A game behind the Defenders, who are 4-1. And the winner of this game puts themselves in a great spot for a potential playoff spot in the XFL conference. And I mean, even if you look at the Defenders have to play the Panthers, which is not going to be easy for them. The winner of this game could actually take the lead in the conference. Actually, no, they can't, because the Defenders are head-to-head. Never mind. But they'd be tied for the lead in the conference because you got the Defenders. If they lose, they'll be 4-2, and the winner of this game is going to be 4-2. But the winner of this game with a big opportunity and have really put themselves in a good spot to make the playoffs. Obviously, there's still plenty of time left in the season. We still got half the regular season left, but these games starting to become pretty important for the playoff race. And then over on the USFL side of things, it seemed like the Stallions and Panthers were going to run away with the 2 playoff spots, but the Stallions haven't quite looked as dominant as we're used to seeing them. The Panthers are good, but definitely beatable. And the Roughnecks, they're right there, very quietly, won 2 of their last 3. And they've got a lot of games left against the Stallions and Panthers. They got 1 against the Stallions, 2 against the Panthers. They can potentially make the playoffs. It's a very, very surprising team. So 1st and 10 here for the Renegades, 2 minutes left. On their own 39, Perez looks to throw. Perez, pressure, lost the ball! Ball is out recovered by the BattleHawks! That's going to seal the win! It's the 4th turnover of the game, forced by this BattleHawks defense. Peter Tamanapenu knocks it out. Recovered by Chris Garrett. And another turnover for the Renegades offense. And that is going to seal the win here for the BattleHawks. Wow. Perez is just trying to step up in the pocket and maybe scramble here. But Tamanapenu knocks it out. Perez not really protecting the ball at all. A huge turnover probably ends this game. Jacob Sellers up the middle on first down. Gonna get a good push from the offensive line. Still going. Gains 11 and a first down. What a run for Jacob Sellers. The final timeout spent by the Renegades. 1:41 to go. Peter Tamanapenu tonight, a monster game. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And that forced fumble right there to seal the game. Obviously included. But what a game he's played. Victory formation here for the BattleHawks. Duggan takes a knee. And the BattleHawks going to improve to 4-2 on the season. Renegades going to fall to 3-3. The BattleHawks going to be 4-2. They'll be second in the XFL. Renegades will be third. Defenders will still have the lead regardless of what happens tomorrow, Sunday for them. And the Brahmas are still in last. They're terrible. But this was not a pretty win at all for the BattleHawks, but they found a way to do it. It's crazy how good their offense can look last week, and then how bad they can look this week, but for both teams, actually. But BattleHawks can still use a lot of help. The defense dominated, did not allow a touchdown. And the offense didn't play their best game, not even close to their best game. Max Duggan went just 7 of 19 for 93 yards and a touchdown. And they didn't run the ball too effectively, but they ended up with 113 rushing yards. They only had 171 total yards, but the offense did what they needed to, somewhat. But the BattleHawks get the win, 12-6 defensive battle. Defense dominates, 4 turnovers forced. And that was not a very good game, but the BattleHawks defense plays a great game. Renegades offense has another awful game. We've seen that's now 3 of their 6 games. They're such a weird team. I just realized this. The Renegades offense either elite or awful. Week 1, 33 points. Week 2, 11 points. Week 3, 9 points. Week 4, 30 points. Week 5, 33 points. And then week 6, 6 points. If that's not the definition of inconsistent, I don't know what is. But they're averaging 20.3 points per game on the season. But it is extremely hit or miss with their offense. They're either unstoppable or unable to score. But the BattleHawks win 12-6. That's going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Be sure to turn on notifications. Don't miss any of their upcoming videos. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. But yeah, that's going to do it for this stream. BattleHawks win 12-6. Pretty boring game, but end up with a somewhat entertaining finish. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.